You don't really notice it at first. A video pops up on your feed, someone smiling, someone joking, someone living a life that looks full. And then, one day, they stop posting. No goodbye video, no warning, just silence, and a comment section slowly filling with, "Wait, what happened?" Social media makes people feel close, like you know them. But sometimes, the distance between what we see and what's actually happening is terrifyingly wide. Today's stories aren't about fame. They're about moments cut short, lives that were still unfolding, creators who were building something, until suddenly, they weren't. Some of these names you might recognize, some you won't. But every single one of them left behind questions, and people who never got answers in time. Let's talk about them, carefully, honestly, starting with the first few. Number 13, Technoblade. Technoblade. Technoblade never tried to be polished, and that's exactly why millions connected with him. Behind the Minecraft avatar and dry, effortless humor was someone who made people feel like they were part of an inside joke that never got old. His content wasn't loud or overproduced. It was sharp, confident, and strangely comforting. When he revealed his cancer diagnosis, the tone of his channel didn't suddenly turn tragic. He stayed Technoblade, still joking, still uploading, still putting his audience at ease while quietly facing something enormous. That choice alone says a lot about who he was. What made his passing hit so hard wasn't just his age, it was the way he handled the end. The final message, read by his father, felt raw and human in a way the internet rarely allows. No dramatic music, no spectacle, just honesty. Even after his death, Technoblade continued to give. Fundraisers, tributes, a legacy that extended beyond gaming into real-world impact. He wasn't just a YouTuber people watched, he was someone people grew up with. And for many, logging into Minecraft will never feel the same again. Number 12, Etika. Etika. Etika was energy in human form. Loud, emotional, unfiltered. He didn't just react to games, he felt them. His joy was contagious, his breakdowns painfully public, and his connection with fans intensely personal. That closeness became both his strength and his undoing. As his mental health struggles became more visible, the internet did what it often does best. Watched, commented, clipped, judged. Some laughed, some worried. Very few truly understood what it looks like when someone is unraveling in real time. Etika didn't disappear quietly. His final days played out in front of millions, turning genuine distress into content people debated instead of addressed. When he vanished, hope lingered. When his body was found, that hope collapsed into guilt, collective and heavy. His death forced uncomfortable conversations about creator burnout, parasocial pressure, and how platforms respond when someone is clearly unwell. Etika wasn't weak, he was overwhelmed. And his story remains one of the clearest warnings about what happens when entertainment replaces empathy. Number 11, Talia Castellano. Talia Castellano. Talia Castellano never pretended life was easy. She simply refused to let illness define her joy. Diagnosed with cancer at a young age, she turned makeup tutorials into something much bigger than beauty content. Her videos were about confidence, optimism, and choosing happiness even when circumstances say otherwise. What made Talia special wasn't just her talent, it was her perspective. She spoke with a maturity that felt impossible for her age, offering encouragement while enduring treatments most adults would struggle to face. Watching her felt uplifting, not because she ignored pain, but because she acknowledged it and kept smiling anyway. Her rise was meteoric. Appearances on major shows, recognition from global beauty brands. Yet none of that mattered as much as the community she built. People who felt braver simply by listening to her talk. When Talia passed away, the grief felt deeply personal to viewers who had never met her. Her bucket list, later shared by her family, turned mourning into action. Strangers finishing dreams in her honor. She didn't live long, but she lived loudly, kindly, and with purpose. And that's why she's still remembered. Number 10, Valeria Marquez. Valeria Marquez. Valeria Marquez was doing what she'd done countless times before. Going live, talking to her audience, sharing her day from inside her own beauty salon. It felt routine, normal, safe. until it wasn't. During that live stream, there was a shift. Valeria mentioned feeling uneasy. She spoke about two men asking for her earlier, her tone changing just enough to make viewers uncomfortable, but not enough to panic. Moments later, that discomfort turned into horror. The camera was still rolling when her life was taken. What made her death especially disturbing wasn't just the violence, it was the setting. Her workplace, her live stream, her audience watching in real time, powerless. The internet didn't just hear about her death afterward. It witnessed the moment everything went wrong. In the aftermath, speculation swirled around organized crime and personal relationships. But beyond the headlines, one truth stood out. Valeria was 23 years old, building a business, building a brand, and building a future. Her story exposed the terrifying vulnerability influencers face, especially women, when visibility collides with real-world danger. Number 9. Sana Youssef. Sana Youssef. Sana Youssef was still a teenager, yet she carried herself like someone who knew exactly who she was. Through her content, she celebrated culture, confidence, and independence, especially for young girls who rarely see themselves represented online. Her following grew quickly, so did the attention. But not all attention is admiration. Sana rejected repeated advances from a man who refused to accept no as an answer. What should have been a firm boundary turned into a fatal obsession. In 2025, that obsession followed her home. Her murder sent shockwaves across Pakistan, not just because of her age, but because her story felt painfully familiar to many women. Harassment escalating, warnings ignored, consequences arriving too late. Sana wasn't reckless, she wasn't careless, she was simply visible. The public reaction was immediate. Protests erupted. Conversations around women's safety grew louder. Sana became more than an influencer. She became a symbol of how dangerous entitlement can be when combined with access and rage. Her final videos now feel haunting, not because she sensed the end, but because she deserved so much more life than she was given. Number 8. Juliana Marins. Juliana Marins. Juliana Marins was drawn to movement, across countries, cultures, and landscapes that felt alive beneath her feet. She traveled solo through Southeast Asia, documenting not luxury or perfection, but freedom. Her content was calm, reflective, and quietly brave. Watching her didn't feel like following an influencer. It felt like walking beside someone who trusted the world enough to explore it alone. In 2025, Juliana took on one of her most challenging adventures, hiking Mount Rinjani in Indonesia, a demanding and unpredictable volcano trail. Somewhere along the route, everything changed. She slipped and fell hundreds of feet down steep, unforgiving terrain. Later, a drone spotted her, alive, injured, and waiting. That detail is the most painful part of her story. She wasn't lost beyond reach. She was seen. She was there. But harsh weather, dangerous terrain, and delayed access made rescue impossible. Hours turned into days. By the time help finally arrived, Juliana had passed away. Her death sparked global conversations about trekking safety, guide responsibility, and the risks faced by solo travelers. But beyond those debates, her story resonates because it wasn't caused by cruelty or illness, just timing. One step, one fall, one delay. Juliana lived boldly, and her story reminds us how fragile even the bravest adventures can be. Number 7, Michaela Raines. Michaela Raines. Michaela Raines didn't build her platform around glamour or trends. She built it around compassion. Through her work with rescued foxes, she showed a softer, gentler side of the internet, one where healing animals and educating people mattered more than views. Her videos felt warm, personal, and safe, like a place you could breathe. Behind the scenes, though, Michaela was struggling. Mental health challenges, combined with relentless online harassment, created a pressure most viewers never saw. The same internet that celebrated her work also criticized, mocked, and dissected her life in ways that became deeply personal. In 2025, her husband shared the news that Michaela had passed away at just 30 years old. The shock rippled through animal lovers and creators alike. People didn't just lose a YouTuber, they lost a symbol of kindness in a space that often rewards cruelty. Her story reignited conversations about cyberbullying, creator vulnerability, and how words typed casually can carry real weight. Michaela dedicated her life to saving animals. Her legacy now asks a harder question. Who protects the people doing the saving? Number 6. Ureli Arceo. Ureli Arceo. Ureli Arceo's content was bright, warm, and full of personality. She celebrated fashion, culture, and everyday joy, the kind that feels relatable rather than staged. Her audience followed her not for drama, but for comfort. Her death, however, came from pure randomness. In 2025, Ureli was driving late at night when another driver, consumed by road rage, fired a gun to intimidate someone else. The bullet didn't hit its intended target. It hit her. She was 27 years old. That detail is what makes her story so devastating. She wasn't involved. She wasn't arguing. She wasn't even noticed. She was simply in the wrong place during someone else's moment of anger. Her passing sparked outrage and heartbreak, highlighting how impulsive violence can destroy lives far beyond the person holding the weapon. A fundraiser was created to support her family, but no amount of money could undo the loss. Ureli's life ended because of a stranger's split-second decision, a reminder of how fragile safety truly is. Number 5. Gloria Zamora. Gloria Zamora was in the middle of rebuilding her life. A fitness influencer and mother, she had spent years navigating a difficult marriage and had finally begun the process of leaving it behind. She spoke openly about emotional pain, family pressure, and what it meant to choose herself after years of compromise. In 2025, Gloria met a business partner at a restaurant to discuss future plans. It should have been ordinary. Instead, it became her last night. Her estranged husband appeared in the parking lot and opened fire, killing both Gloria and her partner before being confronted by police. The tragedy felt painfully familiar to many. A woman trying to move forward, only to be pulled back by violence rooted in control and entitlement. Gloria was 40. She had children. She had plans. Her death reignited conversations around domestic violence, warning signs, and how dangerous the separation period can be for women leaving abusive relationships. Gloria shared her story to help others feel less alone. In the end, her story became a warning and a call for protection that comes sooner, not after it's too late. Number 4. Maria Jose Estupiñán. Maria Jose Estupiñán. Maria Jose Estupiñán was just getting started. Fashion, beauty, self-care. Her content reflected a young woman building confidence, independence, and a future that finally felt hers. She was balancing online work, product sales, and modeling ambitions, slowly carving out a name for herself in a crowded digital space. In May 2025, that momentum was violently cut short. Maria Jose was killed outside her own home at just 22 years old. The details were disturbing, not only because of the crime itself, but because of how common such stories have become for women across Latin America. Her death wasn't an accident, it was a homicide. What followed wasn't just grief, it was anger. Conversations erupted about women's safety, stalking, and how public visibility can increase real-world risk. Maria Jose wasn't living recklessly, she was living normally. And that's what made it so unsettling. Her name became part of a larger conversation about protection, prevention, and accountability. She didn't have time to reach her peak. But her story now represents thousands of women whose lives are interrupted not by fate, but by violence that could have been stopped. Number 3, Tyler Wall. Tyler Wall. Tyler Wall wasn't the star of the video, and yet he stole the spotlight. As a fitness coach brought in for a major YouTube weight loss challenge, his role was simple: push someone to change their life. And he took that responsibility seriously. Viewers quickly noticed something different about him. He wasn't cruel, he wasn't flashy. He was firm, supportive, and present, showing up every day, encouraging progress while demanding accountability. In a format built around spectacle, Tyler brought sincerity. Then, without warning, he was gone. Tyler passed away during the filming of the challenge, shocking both the cast and millions watching. He was only 38 years old. The project continued, but the tone changed completely. What was once entertainment became a tribute. His death hit hard because of how sudden it was, and because he represented something rare online: genuine mentorship. Tyler didn't chase attention. he helped someone else transform their life. And even after his passing, that impact remained visible. He may have appeared in just one video, but his presence is remembered far beyond it. Number 2, Iman Atienza. Iman Atienza. Iman Atienza spoke with confidence that made people listen. Known for her sharp English delivery and fearless honesty, she built a global audience that admired her intelligence, humor, and self-awareness. But what truly set her apart was her openness about mental health. Iman didn't pretend to have it all figured out. She talked about anxiety, isolation, and how cruel the internet can be when vulnerability isn't entertaining enough. She asked for understanding in a space that often rewards detachment instead. At just 19 years old, Iman took her own life. The loss was devastating, not only because of her age, but because she had been vocal about needing support. Her passing forced people to confront an uncomfortable reality. Awareness doesn't always equal action. In the aftermath, her name became attached to proposed legislation aimed at combating cyberbullying in the Philippines. That may be her most lasting impact. Iman used her voice to help others feel seen, and even in death, that voice continues to push for protection, empathy, and responsibility online. Number 1, Stephanie Piper. Stephanie Piper. Stephanie Piper's disappearance didn't happen online, and that's what made it so chilling. A makeup artist and beauty influencer from Austria, she lived a relatively quiet digital life compared to viral stars. When she failed to show up for a scheduled photo shoot in 2025, friends sensed something was wrong almost immediately. The investigation moved fast. Attention turned toward her ex-partner, a man who had already raised concerns among those close to her. He was arrested near the Slovenian border while authorities searched for Stephanie. Days later, after being extradited, he confessed and led police to a forest where he had hidden her remains inside a suitcase. She was 31 years old. There was no live stream, no final post, no warning signs the audience could react to, just absence, sudden and permanent. Stephanie's story is a stark reminder that not all tragedies unfold in public view, even for people with an online presence. Her death exposed the danger that often follows relationships after they end, when control turns into obsession. Stephanie didn't lose her life because she was famous. She lost it because someone refused to let her leave. If this video made you pause, even for a moment, that matters. Stories like these deserve to be remembered, not scrolled past. If you think conversations like this are important, like the video so it reaches more people. Share it with someone who needs to hear these stories with empathy, not judgment. And if you're new here, subscribe, because awareness only works when we keep talking, honestly and responsibly. Thanks for staying till the end.